UTSA gets set for a trip to Charlotte this weekend to take on the 49ers. A noon start on the East Coast, 11 o'clock here. We'll be on the air at 9, and time to visit with head coach Jeff Traylor. We're at Rocco and Martillo, and it's presented by UT Health San Antonio, the official healthcare partner of UTSA Athletics. Well, Jeff, it was a tough loss, kind of a nightmare situation in Tampa last week, but you got to bounce back and get ready for Charlotte. So how are things with practice, and how is the team responding to try to get that bad taste out of their mouth? We're working on that. How about now? We're not work. That microphone, for whatever reason, is not working right now. How about now? Well, let's see here. Let's try the other one there. Let's switch them out here and let's see if we can make that one work. That one is working. All right, fire away.
Right there, hello?
Yeah, you're gonna have to hold that one right there. Well, something's wrong with that one too. Is the main button pushed down? Yeah, that's getting a little bit weird. All right, let's switch back to the other. All right, let's see here. How's that?
Hello, hello.
There we
Hello.
go. The mouse is back in the cage. We're ready to go.
Andy, do you know what this reminds me of?
The first play of the game?
Very good, Andy. It's just like planned, like you just like.
No, it's not.
You thought you'd never been through this before.
Yeah.
We're going to put you through it one more time. I appreciate that, Andy. That's
No,
awesome.
I didn't do that on purpose.
At least we're not on national TV.
No,
We're just
exactly.
local radio.
Local radio and Facebook here.
And amongst friends, I hope.
And
I hope.
YouTube.
Except for Martin over there.
So, yeah, how do you bounce back and get ready for the 49ers?
The kids were great today. Don't say 49ers. That makes me feel like I'm fixing to play the San Francisco 49ers.
Well, it has nothing to do with gold. They built an interstate there. That's their 49ers.
That brought me back bad memories back when I used to love the Cowboys. Dwight Clark. That was tough. Joe Montana rolling out to the right. Do you think they really did that on purpose? Like they claim they did.
Well,
the catch. What do you think?
The
49ers. They take great claim to that being a play, and they threw it up in the back of the end zone.
They threw it up for grabs, and he caught it.
I think so too. And Bill Walsh just took great credit.
Yeah,
for
that was a great play.
I'm going to get over it. I don't like the Cowboys anymore. I'm going to get over it.
It's only been 40 years.
Yeah, I'm going to get over it. Is it sad that I remember where I was?
Oh, absolutely. I remember where I was too.
It's terrible. Can you tell I'm trying to not talk about the game?
Oh, sure, but that's okay too. We just have an hour to kill. However we do it, it doesn't matter.
Oh, what else you want to talk about, Andy? Charlotte, I think you asked
Charlotte,
about them.
Yeah. The non-49ers.
Sadly, they've got three really good receivers. As I told you earlier when I spoke to you, their running back is 6. He's very good. 3 receivers, 5, 7, and 8 are good. That's got me concerned. They've struggled stopping people, but they're very well coached. They play hard, and their special teams are good. They're really good at punting it. They're really good at returning it. So we're on the road, and we, as you reminded me a while ago, we're not so good on the road in conference games here lately.
When you look at the South Florida film, is there anything that you can take that and say this was positive, something to build on? Hard to do when you lose by that margin, but was there moments where you thought the team was good?
Yeah, I think defensively there's not a lot to find. We got physically, handled. So the kids that came in, the newer kids, the fresher kids, they played well, but we didn't play well defensively. Offensively, the 2 turnovers really negated a game that wasn't as bad as you think it was. The 16-play drive to get down the 2-yard line and fumble, that just was a killer. But no, there really is not a lot good that came out of that video.
Talk about the 16-play drive, because you throw the pick 6 and then they march all the way down. You think you're going to tie the game, and then they get a blitz or whatever on Owen. The ball pops up and it's on the ground, and 98 yards later they're in the end zone again.
Really, it was a terrible call by us offensively. They mesh charged us, and he should have just given the ball. And he tried to pull it going against his hand. We shouldn't have done that. That's bad coaching, and Owen's got to bail us out when we do bad coaching, and we didn't then.
You had a lot of the second-teamers and third-teamers in the game in the second half. I didn't see any quit. They were still trying to run plays. They were still working on whatever the game plan was, even though it's kind of out the window at that point. But good to see that the attitude of the team was, let's see what we can do to get better and improve.
I thought Brandon Tennyson played well. I was happy for Mekhi to get a touchdown from his parents and his family. He's from Florida.
You think he's going to be a really good player, right?
He can stay healthy. He just hasn't been healthy since he's been here. So that was good. Our defensive guys come out there and made some plays. Some of our younger guys, Cam at safety made a play, and saw Brandon make a There's some guys that, they hadn't played a whole lot. They got to go out there and play, and they played okay. And we fought, and we behaved. Our penalties were pre-snap. That's frustrating, but we didn't have any frustration penalties. We played the game the right way. They're good kids, but we got to play better, and it was a terrible game by us.
The Patrick Overmeyer touchdown in the first half down the sideline. As soon as the referee threw his hat down, I thought he stepped out of bounds. What did you see on that? Fortunately, they said he was pushed out, and the touchdown counted.
Yeah, I saw the replay really instantly, so I felt good about it. But obviously, when I saw the hat down, I was like, hope he got pushed out and didn't just run out. But when you look at they got it right, and what a heck of a play by Patrick, really good play by Owen, and that's what was frustrating. We kept fighting our way back in the game, and our defense just could not stop them.
When you have a mismatch like that where they're so big and so physical and you're trying to do everything, does it go back to fundamentals? Is it gang tackling? If you ever get in that situation again, how do you make that better?
Well, we got to recruit better. We got to be bigger. Some of our guys did everything they could, and like Jimmy, I spoke to Jimmy on the sideline, Wyatt. He did everything he could. His head was across the quad. He wrapped him up. They copied a lot of what North Texas did and got their big guys on our small guys, and we couldn't get them down. So, and I hate to be – I'm not being a smart aleck.
Oh, I know, yeah.
We've got to be bigger and more physical at the point of attack against guys that are really, really big, strong athletes.
Michael Petro, we'll talk with here in a little bit, had 3 field goals. Good to see him starting to come in to his own, and I think he's 11 of 12 on the season.
Really proud of Michael. Guy was a third-team kicker, and I'm glad I let him kick all the time that I did. I always liked the young man. He's a good player, and he's been great this year. He's been solid.
And this team is used to going to bowl games in the postseason. So as we progress to Charlotte and the 2 home games to finish off the season, there's still that opportunity to keep that bowl streak alive. And not every team goes to a bowl game every year. You're 5-0 in that situation. That's a pretty big number to keep, a pretty big stat to keep going with.
But you got to get to 6, and before you get to 6, you got to get to 5. And right now we're on 4, so we got to get this 5th one before we even start talking about that. The kids are aware of it. We have brought it up, but we've got so much to clean up right now. We've got to protect our quarterback better, pre-snap penalties. And our defense has just got to tackle. We got to get people down. Yeah,
it seems like you take 1 or 2 steps forward week to week in fixing something, and then something else creeps up. Is that a way to look at it?
Well, it is, but then if you pull back from a 10,000-foot view, North Texas is really, really good, and so is South Florida, and they just both happen to be on the road.
And everything else has been either close or you've won.
And if you look at our defense, where they've really struggled, that's when they've played against 3 of the top 10 offenses in the country. And a lot of defenses struggle against that. I'm not saying it's an excuse. We still have been embarrassed, and I don't like the way it looks, and we shouldn't play that way. But it has happened against really good people.
All right, we'll visit with Michael Petro and Houston Thomas, our players coming up here in the next couple of segments. We'll scout Charlotte and look ahead to the Charlotte game coming up this weekend. UTSA fans, get ready for the Yancira punt. And USAA honors the stars who serve in our military as the official military appreciation sponsor of UTSA. Tonight we have 2 stars from the gridiron with us, and we're going to get to know them a little bit better during our Stars of the Week segment. Our first guest is Michael Petro, the UTSA kicker. Welcome to the show. Push that mic up right in front of you, right there. That'll work.
Right here's good.
Yeah, that's perfect. Let's talk about your season. You've had a pretty good one. You didn't know you were going to be in competition or have a chance to be the starting kicker till right after spring practice last year, but here you are. Talk about your year.
Yes, sir. That's right. Honestly, I didn't really know I was going to be the starter. I was behind Tate, and I just kind of kept my head down, working every day, just trying to take advantage of every moment that I had. And whenever that opportunity presented itself, I tried taking full advantage of it.
And take us through your time in high school and college and coming to San Antonio, and what was the interest in being a road runner, all that kind of your path to UTSA?
Yeah, definitely. So I went to Marcus High School in Flower Mound. One day, Coach Burke, he was the offensive coordinator at the time, came and visited me. He seemed like really cool. I learned more about UTSA. I went on my official visit here, and it just seemed like a really cool school. The coaches were very nice, obviously. And
tell them, hello. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, you're good. You're on.
Tell them what other position you played other than kicker when you were at Flower Mound.
Yeah, I was actually a running back and wide receiver at the time.
Okay.
Yeah,
he's an athlete.
Yes.
This dude's a little athlete.
Yeah.
So why did you specialize in kicking?
I grew up playing soccer my entire life.
Okay.
So kind of had a leg to me kind of growing up. And actually, funny story, in 8th grade, they changed the rule to where every PAT, if you kicked it, was 2 points. So we hold an open field goal like competition, and I ended up winning the job. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
You like those competitive guys, Jeff?
He is special, and I don't ever let our third team kicker kick. Usually the one kicks and maybe the two, but this dude was so good. I'm like, let's just let the third guy kick. I'm really glad all those reps I gave him all those years ago came back to help us in the big picture.
So you knew that Tate was leaving in late April, early May, and what was your routine like last summer or this summer to get ready for this season, knowing that there was a job opening here?
Honestly, mentally, nothing really changed. I always anticipated getting an opportunity here, so really every day I worked as if I was going to get on the field that next game. So nothing really changed mentally for me.
You're kind of by yourself in practice a lot. You and the specialists are over doing your own thing. So take us through your practice session. Well, they're doing plays and schemes and all that. What goes through getting the reps that you need to have the confidence you obviously have going into the games?
Yeah, so each week I always have kind of like some things I want to work on. And so I have certain drills that I know will help me with those and work on that. And also, like Coach Bonner, he has us do these steps where you take your steps and you measure how far away you are to create consistency. So then there's less variables whenever you go on that field.
So the steps, you meticulously go through that because being off just a little bit can mess up the way you kick.
Yes, sir, exactly. So it's 3 steps back, 2 steps over, and I'm 119 inches away from the ball is like my sweet spot. So anything 2 inches over, 2 inches under is kind of the sweet spot for me.
And the field he kicked on last week, I didn't even want to talk about that.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
it was a mess.
It was a mess. And he just – I didn't want him to know. I was like watching him in pregame, so I'm standing over here and I'm kind of looking at him like through the peripheral vision because I didn't want him to think I was worried about him. But I thought he did a fantastic job with his plant foot, and I let him kick 3 times. I knew he was solid in pregame. I knew he could handle the mental toughness of it.
So take us through kicking off of grass and turf. What's the difference there, especially when you have grass that's pretty much soggy and wet like we saw last week?
That muddy grass was rough. Really, it's just you can't like plant as hard, obviously, because you're going to slip. So you kind of, for me personally, I kind of go more in a vertical direction, so you don't like plant horizontally and like your plant foot will slip as much.
I saw a sign in the locker room, which was obviously for either Tampa or the visiting teams when they're there, that says make sure you have the right spikes. Did you guys have to change spikes for you or anybody else as you were going through the game, or go with what you brought?
Yeah, I went with what I got. I got my lucky cleats, so I just keep those.
Yeah, we struggled. I mean, they didn't just run over us. They made us slip and fall quite a bit too.
Yeah, you love those. Do you like kicking better on grass or turf if the grass is good?
Yeah, if it's good grass, I personally prefer grass. I grew up kicking on grass pretty much my entire life, so it's just kind of what I'm used to.
When you played soccer, did you play on both turf and grass fields?
Majority grass, yeah.
Okay. So that's something you're pretty much accustomed to.
Yeah, yes, sir. Kind of just engraved in my brain.
So always good to have a reliable kicker. You've had a bunch of those guys here.
Yeah, it's been a blessing. 6 straight years, and all really good dudes. I mean, I told him when he got here, he reminded me of my very first kicker, who I think is as good as a guy we've ever had come through here. They're very much similar in their the way Hunter approached the game, the way Hunter's ball looked coming off his foot. Both of them just have a smooth stroke. They both remind me of an old man with just a nice little 7-iron that just keeps advancing the ball 175 yards right down the middle. And I'm just frustrated the whole day, just hitting it everywhere.
So what's your range? Do you even know what your range is?
I would say, like, on a solid day, I'd say like 56, 57.
Okay, that'll work.
Yeah, he's really, his legs gotten stronger. He's gotten good. He's a really good kid, and he's going to be here kicking next year too.
So,
I mean, we're going to take care of Michael.
So what is your workout like to keep your legs strong and get it stronger? Is it different than other people do, or how do you get that further into your game?
Yeah, Coach Follow has us doing the same workout routine as everyone else. Obviously, the weight's going to be a little bit different, kind of lighter weight, more explosive movements. But overall, it's just kind of the same: power clean, hang clean, front squat, all that type of stuff.
What are you doing in the classroom? What's in your future if and after the NFL?
Yeah, so I'm a kinesiology major, so I want to do chiropractics, open up my own chiropractic firm, do some adjustments, hopefully back in Dallas sometime. So
you miss home?
I don't miss home. Like, I'm not homesick or anything like that, but obviously I do miss my family back at home.
All right. Well, thanks for being here tonight. Congrats on all your success so far, and we'll look forward to you doing more for UTSA this year and into the future as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right. That's Michael Petro, one of our for fast labs, quick visits, and ship to home treatments. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. We're joined by Houston Thomas, our next guest out here in our player segment. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being out here.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, let's talk about this. First of all, let's talk about the tight end room, because we've seen teams where you've had one or two guys that are really good, but you've got three, and there's two or three more coming up to fill in the void at the time that you guys graduate in a couple years. But talk about this tight end room and what makes it so special. And Jeff's talked about you guys going to Hunter Ritterman's to wedding this past March. It's a special group.
Yeah, Coach Ritterman does a great job recruiting that room. Coach Burke as well, Coach Traylor. All those guys were tight end coaches at one point in time, so they know what it looks like. And then also Coach Ritterman just does a good job of really like getting us to buy into every single practice and everything we do, just treating it like how he would with his passion. And I just think he does a good job of coaching, and he just gets us right every time.
From your perspective, do each of the three of you, Dan and Patrick, do you do things well together similarly? Is there things you do better than they do better? Or are y'all just kind of a jack of all trades? We can, whatever the play is, any of us can do it.
I would say we all have like different things that we're specialized at. I know Dan, he's gotten really good in the run game this year. He also can go out and catch passes as well. Patrick's kind of a guy who can do both at an elite level. He can block really well and same route run. Me, I have like a receiver background, so of course my thing is running routes and catching balls, but that's just the kind of thing that I specialize over the years.
How difficult was it to move from wide receiver in high school to tight end in college? A lot of the plays are similar, I guess, because you're flexed out some, but was there a learning curve?
Yeah, there was definitely a learning curve. Just the blocking, the run blocking, that was the biggest thing I had to develop my freshman year and even now. And also just like the mindset you have at receiver, like when you're a tight end, you're not going to get the ball every single play. There's people more athletic than you. So I think that's the biggest change that I had to make. Yeah.
That's hard on him. I mean, like when I took Patrick, he was a quarterback, so he hadn't blocked or caught.
Right.
So I knew he was going to be a longer project. I knew he was a very good wide receiver, but his body was not built to be a day one tight end. So that was going to be where the emphasis was, right? With Dan, he was more of an offensive lineman when we got him. So that was more of, and that's kind of, he answered the question very well. I will say today, like, we've got another two good ones coming, Isaiah and Tyroot. Were you down there in inside run today when Ty?
Yeah.
I know you were proud of Ty today. We ran one of our base plays, and the linebacker didn't see Ty coming. And Ty it wasn't a dirty shot at all, but it's the first maybe physical play. It reminded me of when Ty and Houston are very similar. Ty is a very good wide receiver, body not quite made to be a tight end yet. But it's like Houston. You saw glimpses of that dog was going to bite one day, and they're starting to both bite.
What is it, and I know this isn't actual to the truth, but we talk about all the time the tight end just finds a way to get open. Sometimes defenses forget about the tight end or where you're going or you're hiding in the perfect spot. Talk about so often you're that third or fourth option that turns teams to work out for the offense.
Yeah, a lot of that's the scheme that we do. Coach Burke does a good job of scheming us open. A lot of times we have some trick plays that are going to go to us, and also just the option routes that he gives us. He gives us the ability to get open in those zones or man coverage. So it just makes it easier on us when we have a coordinator who trusts us to go out there and make plays and read the coverage and make right decisions.
And it is frustrating when you're a coach and you've got, there's really, unless it's a trick and we know it's going to him, but even then we try it, and like the other day, and I thought they could have thrown the thing to him, but David decided he'd go pull it down and run it. You really can't determine that, and that's the hardest part when you're Patrick and you're a quarterback. You get it every time. When you're a receiver, back in the day, he's getting it 8 to 10 times every game. And it's really, one of the things I was pleased with, I felt a burden to get the ball to Houston because he deserves it more. When the game was over, one of the few things I was happy about was I said, thank God Houston had 7 catches.
Right.
Because I was glad he finally got a night where he is a 7 to 5 catch kid a game.
Talk about the blocking part in the run game especially, or wide receivers catch the ball, you got to run for them, or Owen's got to scramble. The tight end has a lot of blocking responsibilities that the normal fan doesn't necessarily see all the time.
Yeah, for tight end, it's not just like in the box blocking, it's also in the perimeter. Obviously, like in the box is a little more difficult just because you're blocking bigger guys. And then the same thing out in the perimeter, you're blocking short, quick guys who might be more athletic than you, but you still have to put a body on a body and block them. So it's definitely a challenge, but it's something that Coach Ritterman has done a good job of developing all of us, and I think we all can do that at an elite level.
The run game has been great for most of the season. Robert and Will have done great. You're a part of that. So I know you're proud of 7 catches and I think 77 yards against USF, but what about when Robert goes for 175 or those the running backs have good days?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's part of our culture pillars, just being selfless. I'm just excited for them if I just have 100 yards as well. I know Rob's just been going crazy this year, same with Will. Like, in the Tulane game, I had 1 catch, and I wasn't upset because we won the game and our running back's 8. So as long as we win, it really doesn't matter.
Take us back to a couple years ago when you were a freshman and you were just kind of working your way and getting a few plays here and there. I would think you got to be proud of the progress you made becoming a college tight end from being a high school wide receiver and seeing the difference that you make on the field now as opposed to when you were younger.
Yeah, yes, sir. It's definitely been a journey. It definitely came a long way. Most of that credit is just to the coaches. They all believed in me and gave me an opportunity. So I just credit all that success to them.
So you're from College Station. Why UTSA? What was the draw to come here?
Really, it was my best offer, like, in Texas. Also, Coach Traylor and my grandmother had a good relationship, so I knew what type of man he was, and I'm so excited that I came here, and I've been here for the last 4 years.
How'd you know his grandmother?
It's an interesting story. My best friend growing up was named Jimmy Green and died of cancer at a very, very young age. He was 23 at the University of Texas, and his mother was Donna, and one of the sweetest, greatest women in the entire world. And once Jimmy passed away and she lost her husband, my family kind of just she took care of us too, and we took care of her to a degree. Everybody loved Miss Donna, and I had no idea that Miss Donna's best friend was my man Houston's grandmother. So they were best friends. And Donna called me one day. Donna has a larger than life personality, as does Houston's grandmother. They're just 2 of the sweetest women you'll ever meet in your life. And forever, Donna would tell me, "You're getting Houston. You're going to get Houston. I'm telling you right now, my best friend tells me you're going to get him." I said, "Well, never in my life, Miss Donna, did I think that Jimmy Green, being my best friend, was going to get me one of the best tight ends in the state," but it worked out.
Are you an Aggie fan, or do you ever follow them, or was you just looking for some place to play and call that your team?
Well, I grew up an Aggie fan with Johnny Manziel, but honestly, like, once I got to high school, I kind of was just like whoever offered me a scholarship at that point.
Like Coach Elko spoke to me about Houston. Like, they knew who Houston was. They thought he was a little bit, frail at that time. He's a wide receiver. But everybody knew Houston was a really good ball player. That's the thing players don't really quite get, and fans don't either. We all know these kids, and even the coaches, we're talking to them like, "Hey, are you going to take Houston? Because if you are, we're not going to mess with him." They're going to be like, "Well, we think he's a little too frail." So we're in the hunt a little more. Because we're all going to get fired, and we're all going to be working for each other one day. So we all talk to each other way more than people know that we do.
Awesome. Houston, continued success. Thanks so much for being here, and hope you have some more 7-catch games in the future.
Me too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Houston.
Right. That's Houston Thomas with us out here at the
imagine they've won one game, and they're frustrated. But like I've told you already, anytime 5, 6, 7, or 8 get the ball, they can score. They've been scoring points. They've struggled stopping people, and we're on the road. So the problems have been us on the road. So we've got to get that fixed. Where are the pre-snap penalties? Why do we not tackle well? Why do we drop the ball on the road? And why do we come home to the Alamo Dome? And all that stuff goes away. And I've talked to my guys all week about it. It's got to be mental toughness. We lack it when we're on the road. Whether we don't create our own juice, we got to figure it out. And obviously, I haven't figured it out yet.
What makes those receivers and the running backs so good? What do they do well?
The kid from LSU, which is 5, is their punt returner. He's very shifty, great hands, like a running back when he gets the ball. The other 2 kids are outside receivers, and they're longer and bigger and faster. And the running back's very patient. That's 6, and just kind of waits, and he runs for a while. So their punt team is very good, and their punt return team is very good. Which is, it was surprising to me because usually that's not that way when you're struggling on defense, kind of like we have this year.
Grayson Loftus is their quarterback. What does he do well? How do you scout him?
Yeah, he throws a real good deep ball. He's accurate, runs around with his feet. Good little player. He's been steady.
The defense, we've talked about giving up a lot of points, but where are their strengths and what concern you?
They've got guys who can rush the quarterback, which scares us right now. They bring a lot of pressure, so we got to be able to pick that up. And I'm sure they're licking their chops after last week, and we didn't pick up the pressure very well.
Tim Albin's their coach. How do you know him, and what do you know of him?
Just from meeting him at AAC Media Days and just talking through meetings. I can tell he's a really good guy, a really good coach, and I know how frustrated we are at 4 and 5. I can imagine how I feel like I'm 1 and 8, and I'm sure he hates that feeling.
I know they're trying to build their program. There's stadium renovations coming up in the future for them. So I would imagine that's they probably think, okay, this is a chance for us to finally get a win at home too. So that adds to the pressure and to that mental toughness needing to be there.
I'm sure they're telling this team, like, for whatever reason, these guys struggle on the road and they're really good at home, and thank God we're not playing them at home.
First noon start of the year. You like playing early? Noon there, 11 here.
If you win, it's the best because you get home. If you lose, it doesn't matter what time you play.
I know a lot of coaches have said, I don't like to sit around the hotel all day and go at 7 o'clock. Or I don't want to go at 5. I don't want to have pregame meal at 7 or 8. Is there a preference for you? If you could pick every start time, would you pick a certain time?
Yeah, I'd pick 2 every time.
Yeah.
It's just enough where you can sleep enough. Your morning's not nuts.
Right.
Because we arrive at the game 2.5 hours no matter when.
Right.
If we're at home or on the road. So you can just start backing it up. Think about team meals. Think about OD walk. Think about special teams walk. Think about team meeting.
So you're there at 9:30 for a 12 o'clock game.
It's when we arrive.
Yeah,
so you can imagine
yeah.
how early we get up.
Right.
In order to get ready to get there.
I've noticed you guys are a little bit earlier this year than in the past. Was that planned, or is it something that you tried to do in the future and the bus didn't get there on time?
We've had so many troubles with transportation. Whatever
Not
that
any more
is, I'm
chances.
not doing it ever again. I'd rather be 30 minutes early than
Yeah.
an hour late, which we've been a couple of times.
Well, we go with the trainers and managers at 6 o'clock in the morning or whenever it is. I would rather be there and know that everything's going to be okay.
Amen.
And not be rushed.
Amen. There's been 2 games that we've been rushed, and I'm not going to mention them because it sounds like excuses, but that's not happening again.
Yeah, you don't want to be rushed. All right. You have I mentioned the streak is on the line with that. Even though the ACC championship game is out of reach, it was in reach had you won last week in South Florida. But going forward, how do you coach the team any differently? You say you want to fix a lot of the things that you need to get right. So what do you try to do in those last 3 games and hopefully a bowl game to do that?
That's why you have culture. That's why you have a culture pillars. I mean, we all have our independent ones that we go through each week, but what we say every day is win the day. I mean, you've got to create your life into little segments, and you only can control today. And I know y'all get tired of hearing that stuff, but it's yesterday's history, tomorrow's a mystery, today's a gift. So we got this 24 hours, and we focus on being the very best we can be. We were good today.
And I think a lot of people, not only football players, but people in regular life, if they would live that way, would probably be, we worry about the future, we worry about what we didn't get done, and you can't change the past, and you can only try to make the future better.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's hard to do now
Oh yeah,
when
I'm
you're
guilty of not doing it.
when you don't play well and everybody you see reminds you of it. I mean, it's hard to flush that, but you've got to. You just have to, especially in our world. I've told y'all a million times before. We're not. When I was a basketball coach, I got to flush it a lot quicker. When you're a football coach, man, you're living with a lot of interviews, a lot of media, a lot of people with opinions trying to help you. But it can wear on your psyche if you're not careful.
Yeah, and I remember when Frank and Rashad were here, they talked about that a lot. That I can't worry about the play I missed. I got to worry about the play I'm about ready to do well.
Next play mindset. It's way bigger than just this old football game. There's a lot of life in front of these kids, and they're learning from this. Unfortunately, we've had a lot of today. We spoke on testimonies, and there's no testimony. The root word of testimony is test, and you can't give your testimony unless you've been tested. And my team's been tested, and we just got to get it figured out, Andy.
When you give life lessons to the team and the players, and you see kind of light bulbs click on and all that, I know you're here to coach football games and win football games, but at the end of the day, in 20 years, when you have a conversation with Owen McCown, it's probably not going to be about the USF or Charlotte game, is it?
It's probably not going to make sense to them until about then. They'll be, as they get older, they all come back, and nobody ever talks about a game. Like I saw Rashad at the game. We didn't talk about any championships. We talk about an injury he has right now, and him having to overcome it, being mentally tough, and winning the day, and
all the stuff you did before.
There's no doubt. We didn't talk about, hey, how about those back-to-back championships, man? Wasn't that fun?
All right, we'll talk about the play of the game. We got to give a shout out to UTSA women's soccer, and we'll do all that coming up in the next segment. If you want to, the excitement doesn't stop at the Rocket Lock and Terry. in just a minute, but let's first of all talk about the UTSA women's soccer team. They won the American Conference Championship this week. I know you followed that, and Derek Pittman's team, so that was pretty cool to see.
For Derek and his girls, I mean, he has an unbelievable culture at his program. His girls get hot at the right time of year, and when tournament time comes, DP's girls get ready to roll. So I'm really happy with those girls win that championship.
That was awesome. They'll play Texas Tech this Friday in the NCAA tournament in Lubbock. All right, our play of the game is brought to you by SureMed Emergency Medical Service, proud to serve San Antonio with trusted professional ambulance services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We talked about the Patrick Overmeyer score and Mekhi Henderson getting his first touchdown as a Roadrunner. Were there any other plays that you stood out that said we can build on that for in the future?
Well, we finally caught a break. I mean, when the ball hit the punt returner's foot,
Right.
or it wasn't actually the punt returner, but Chris Bryson made a nice recovery there. But no, there wasn't a ton of positive in the game. We competed. We really competed better than you think offensively. And it looks like we didn't compete at all defensively. We just couldn't tackle them.
How about Brandon Tennyson playing the second half? I guess it was let's just get Owen off the field, get him ready for next week, don't get him hurt. But Brandon came in and looked pretty good.
Well, the hit he took on the throw to Mekhi was impressive. They zeroed us up, so they had one more guy than we had, and he took it right in the chops and made a heck of a throw. Very, very similar to what Owen looks like when he hangs in there.
Those Gilmer kids are different, right?
They're tough kids. Him and Will both have won a lot of games, and they both have played very well.
When you recruited Brandon, what did you see in him that you liked, and how has he developed his game in the couple of years he's been in a reserve role?
Yeah, I've never really got to see Brandon the right way. I mean, Brandon had a terrible knee injury in the playoff run his senior year, and I honor the scholarship. I just didn't think that was right to do that to the young man. He's not the same athlete he used to be. He used to be electric. He still moves well, but he's not. I wish I could have seen the Brandon Tennyson I saw his whole life.
Right.
One of the most amazing human beings, kind of spirit, tough kid. I'm one of the. If everybody's like Brandon Tennyson, the world would be a much better place.
The pass he threw to AJ in the Texas A&M game, it was in the end of the game, but it looked like it was a great pass and a great catch, just a great play.
Yeah, those kids in Gilmer have been throwing it since they were in pre-K, so he's got a lot of space throughout. The old 10,000-hour rule, Brandon's way above and beyond that.
All right, he played other guys off the bench in the second half. You mentioned Chris Bryson on the kick coverage. What did you see from some of the younger guys that don't get a lot of playing time? Obviously, the game's decided at that point, but they're still competing, still playing hard, and trying to get things on film that you're going to look at for the future.
Yeah, Cam Upshaw made a heck of a play, and I was proud to see that. And there were just a lot of young players out there that stepped up and made plays that, that I would have thought maybe they would have not, and they just did, just on pure effort and just competing. So that was good to see. I mean, our whole second offensive line, Jonah went out there and played well at left tackle. I was proud to see that. Luke Lopez coming back from an injury. He wasn't 100%, but he's getting closer. That was good to see. Davion out there. We just emptied everybody out there.
When you're behind at that stage in the game and you still see people playing hard and competing and fighting every play, a lot of teams would just fold it up and say, let's go home and we'll just mail the rest of this game in. Your team doesn't do that. I've never seen them do that, even in the other blowout losses.
No, they didn't. They finished it correctly. And, in the fourth quarter, how we hold up our triangles to start the quarter, I was pretty in tune to look around to see. And everybody had the triangle up. And that's a good sign about how much the kids believe. And I just hate it for them. They're not a 4-5 team. We're probably a 6-3 team, but we're not a 4-5 team.
The next 3 or 4 weeks, whether there's a bowl game or not, but let's say 4 weeks, a lot of these football players are going to play their last football game ever. There's always a pickup basketball game no matter how old you are. You can play golf and tennis until as long as you can move. You can play that for a lifetime. Baseball, there's old man baseball leagues. But to get 22 guys together to go to a field and play football in pads is likely not going to happen. Talk about, if you will, the guys that know that their careers are about to end and how important these last few games are.
Yeah, it's the last time they get to do it. From, what is it? The percentage is like very, very few that even get the opportunity. And we've been fortunate at UTSA. We've had quite a few kids go, and they're still there. That's very rare. But they need to enjoy it. And when you're their age, they think they're going to play forever. They think they're all going to be drafted in the first round. And when I start doing the math with them, and I'm like, 32 teams, 7 rounds, around 200.
Yeah.
Some supplemental picks will get it up, 250 to 260. Surely I'm one of the best 250 to 260. Now divided by every position, start doing the math. It's really hard.
Yeah.
But they're young, and they think they're going to play forever. But you do your best to try to remind them this will probably be it for most of you guys.
I got to see Rashad at the restaurant we went to. He just happened to be there. Great to see what he's doing in Tampa. I know he's injured right now, but great to see him carrying on that legacy.
Same beautiful smile, same guy, man. I'm so proud of Rashad, and I know his mom's proud of him, and I know Bryce is up there proud of their brother as well.
After every big loss you've had, you've responded well, whether it's been home or away. I'm assuming you expect that's going to happen again. You'll come out a lot more intense.
Yeah, I do. I just, we can't jump out there and turn the ball over twice where my defense ever takes the field. We've been so good on opening drives. Someone's going to score. We either score every time or they do so far.
Keys to the game?
Yeah, I think you nailed it. Is our defense going to show up with some intensity? Like, what's that going to look like? Are we going to look like the team versus Tulane or the one against South Florida and North Texas? Offensively, are we going to be shell-shocked from the 2 turnovers to start the game off? Can we come out and get a quick start? And then on special teams, we're going to have our hands full, their punt team, their punt return team. We're going to have to be really solid to get number 5 on the ground. He can go. He's scary.
All right, Jeff, thanks as always. We'll do it again next week. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Andy. God bless. Birds up.
All right, that's the Jeff Traylor Radio.